This episode of Uncoachable is brought to you by Face It.
To be honest, like every team's kind of the same here. Like even like we haven't scrimmed Crazy Raccoon because we had one scrim. They like really didn't want to scrim because that first to two match that we have at the start, like just don't go near that. You know, that'll completely f their plans. So they're hiding their strats from us. They're hiding the fact that they play Wrecking Ball from us. So we don't know what Crazy Raccoon is like in a scrim. But everyone just feels the same. It's like everyone's just winning and losing scrims. Like everything is back and forth. Every day you flip a coin, and it's just it's actually outrageous, like how close everything feels. You know.
But yesterday, Propo told me they have secret weapon. They have some comp.
Wow.
They're not gonna play monkey everywhere.
Harmon's gonna pick an off tank. Oh, holy shit!
Have you heard of Diva?
Oh my god! Harmon gonna play Diva? You're gonna play. I have a narrative for you if you would like to hear it. Let me spin something up real quick.
I got some spinning going here, man.
I got some spin.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 36 of Uncoachable. It's our Hangzhou Major special. Smash is going to join us again. I got two messages from Smash over the weekend. I got one message on Saturday that was, oh my god, so happy. And then I got another message on Sunday saying, oh my god, fuck my life. Welcome, Smash. A roller coaster of a weekend.
Yeah. Oh,
You got...
Yeah. You can
Go
talk.
on.
Yeah. Tired because we have scrim, a lot of scrim, and we don't have day off that much because this is great chance for growing up for our team. So quite top moment for us right now.
Where
But
are you
everything
guys
is
at
good.
now? Are you at, was it DRX?
Oh no, PRX, FearX Bootcamp. Yeah.
Are you there as well, Max?
Yeah, same place. They've put me on a different floor. They didn't want me and Smash to be too close together, but yeah, it's actually like incredible, like really, really good. Like good computer setup. They have like a kitchen on the ground floor where they cook really nice
The
meals.
food's unreal, right?
It's really
Yeah,
good. Like,
We were
insanely good.
super impressed with the food. Like even when they do Western options, they do really good, and then all of like the Korean meals are super, super good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're in a nice hotel, which is really close to the place. Like, really couldn't ask for more out of the FearX folks. I don't know. It's been really sick.
Yeah. Hotel getting upgrade because last year hotel was shit.
Oh, it's different this year?
Yeah. I just crying because that hotel was too bad for me, and I
Why?
because so
He's a
hot.
big boy.
They don't have that much air conditioner in that
Ah.
moment.
I
I can't
see.
sleep well. Yeah. But
Is
now
anyone else there? Oh, go on.
everything is good.
Any of the other teams there with you guys?
Nightmare's not at FearX. They're in Korea as well, but they're not at FearX. They were doing something at the T1 PC bung or some shit like that. So they got the short end of the stick, is my understanding. You know, having to I know that the Nightmare guys, they had like a collegiate match with Winthrop. They had to like pause in the middle of the match because two of the players had to feed more money into the computer in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
So they're actually just doing a PC bang.
Yeah.
There's like a private room or something there, but it's like Kappa private, you know, like behind a glass panel, but like, you know, a couple of computers in the same room behind a glass panel. But it is still like they are still PC banging or something. It's a bit crazy.
Flack, I need more
It's
coins.
not the
We've got
FearX.
another map. We're doing another map. I need some more coins.
It's mission critical.
What about Alcad? Did anyone scrim them?
We scrimmed them
No.
today for the first time. They're not in Korea though. They I think they
went straight
stayed in
to
Saudi
China.
Arabia longer and went to China. Like they just got here today. Yeah,
What the fuck have they been
They're in
doing?
Hangzhou, I guess.
they just taking the piss, I think. But needless to say, I think Alcad's going to win it all after today's scrim.
Did you scrim them already, or you are going to scrim them?
We just did.
Us?
Yeah, we just did today.
We
They're
didn't
back?
yet.
They're all right. To be honest, like every team's kind of the same here. Like even like we haven't scrimmed Crazy Raccoon because we had one scrim. They like really didn't want to scrim because that first to two match that we have at the start, like just don't go near that. You know, that'll completely fuck up their plans. So they're hiding their strats from us. They're hiding the fact that they play Wrecking Ball from us. So we don't know what Crazy Raccoon is like in a scrim. But everyone just feels the same. It's like Everyone's just winning and losing scrims. Like everything is back and forth. Every day you flip a coin, and it's just it's actually outrageous, like how close everything feels. You know,
It was
maybe
it
like
was the same.
once again is pretty good at Winston. Like, would you believe? But everyone is just trading.
It was the same for us when we did. I guess it was like EWC when we were in Korea, and we were amazed at how like our win rate was like consistently between like 40 and 60% against every single team, like every single team. And that's the copium. That's where you come on the podcast and you give like a little bit of copium, like on our day we can win, but then it never happens.
It's never your
Like,
day.
there's
Yeah,
always
because it's like it's like you're winning because they're not on their day. Is the truth of the matter, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not delusional, right? Like I get the feeling that if we're taking a win versus a team that is like named Falcon or something like that, it's like it's probably not because we were on our day, but also because simultaneously they were not on their day at the same time. Like they were. Really, because like these teams always like overperform at the lands compared to like scrim results. Like I think Toronto Defiant had it last year where they went to maybe the Dallas Major and they were winning absolutely every scrim all the time. They were stomping on Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah.
Like even like Nightmare and stuff last year in Sweden, they were 6-0ing Crazy Raccoon at their boot camp in Sunderland. And then show up to the event. Would you fucking believe these top teams in the world kind of rise to the occasion a little bit? So I think that like. NA 1-2, EU 1-2, China 2. That's gonna be like all these teams like dogfighty. But I think once again is like pretty damn solid, and both of the Korean teams are just inevitably going to be really solid.
Yeah.
So you'd have once again like a tier above the like you think they're maybe favorites for third place right now.
If I was a betting man, I'd say so. I'd probably put them. I think they've got like problems. But at the same time, I'm like a really big believer that core in particular is like insane at like rising to the occasion.
Yeah, that's
in terms of
true.
like they're like the best or the biggest difference between scrim result and match result of all the teams here. Like truly. And their scrim results are fine too. I just mean that like historically that Chinese team just perma trolls all their scrims and then shows up on the day. And it's like they didn't do well at EWC, but like it wasn't a monkey tracer meta like it is now. So like really there's a huge difference in that. Like it's a really
they
good
also
situation.
had rush at EWC, so like they've fixed a few holes there.
They probably won't be banning Lifeweaver on map 1 this time, like something. Oh, we scrimmed T1 and instantly it's map 1 and Rush actually just like bans Ryan, bans Hog, bans Weaver. Like he's actually just instantly Rush banning in the scrim, just taking the fucking piss.
If you think about how little Rush cares about the nitty gritty in officials, he's not gonna give a single fuck about the nitty gritty in scrim.
I think their bans were actually good. I think for the SOOP Cup, I think their bans were actually good.
It was good, yeah.
I don't know. He pulled his finger out, or outsourced to like a third member of staff because there's no way Fletter's doing that.
ChatGPT, what should I ban versus Virtus.Pro? Should we talk a little bit about SOOP Cup then? We've got no footage for obvious reasons, but but SOOP Cup happened. I think actually a pretty entertaining event. Everyone enjoyed seeing the Western teams go up against the Korean teams. We'll start with you guys, Smash. How did you find? Because obviously first game against Wei. Did you scrim them much before? Were you expecting that result?
No, we scrimmed 2 times versus Wei before, but they're kind of cool. But they just give up double flags versus us. I don't know why. Because they're afraid Bestula Diva or something, I guess. But they give up double flags. They don't have that much merit anymore, in my opinion. So they're just playing Brick with Isumin and Juno with Maka. Maka is pretty good, but Isumin is Kiri and Gen specialist, in my opinion. So that make us easy win. If they trying like some Ana Kiri or something, maybe gonna be more tough match for us.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the difference between Lee Soo-min on Kiriko and some of the other heroes is like a big difference.
And Orisa coming out, that's the big deal for us.
Like a big buff?
Yeah, I mean every tank getting nerf, so Orisa didn't get nerf, so his value, like individual value, is so high. That's why Orisa is fine right now. But I'm not sure this is meta.
Yeah, it seems like we saw quite a lot really at SOOP Cup. Like we saw Hazard, we
Mhm.
saw Diva, we saw Winston, we saw Orisa, we saw Ram, even a little bit of Sigma on like the Circuit Royale and stuff. It feels like
Yeah,
really lots of things viable right now. Does that feel the same
yeah,
as what you see in Scrim?
yeah. Like, but I don't think many team trying Orisa comp yet. But yesterday, T1 player told me, oh, like they watching our game the day before, and they told me, oh, that comp looks cool, and they just scream one day, and they just win us. But we just scream 3 days with Orisa, I guess, and we lose Orisa matchup, and I have no idea what should I ban. So I got fucked after second map yesterday
Wait,
because
that
I
was
have to
weird.
block Monkey comp, and even we cannot beat Orisa comp. What can we do? Something like that happening. So
It was weird because with Lijiang Tower, you play against
Mhm.
Winston first round, you beat it.
Mhm.
Winston, no problem. And then they take
Mhm.
Orisa Mirror, and I think now it's Virtus.Pro's to win. They get this Orisa Mirror, no
yeah,
problem. But
yeah,
big problem.
yeah. So if we lose Orisa mirror matchup, we don't have that much choice because Donghak's hero pool is much better than us. So it is what it is. It can happen.
It can happen.
But I wanna lose. I wanna lose someday. But good
Yesterday?
loss for us. Yeah.
He's telling the truth there. He was saying that the night before he lost, he's talking to me in Uber, shit faced, and he says, "I want to lose. I want to lose soon because we're winning too much. So I want to lose soon." And then fucking lo and behold, he
Yeah.
lost the next day. Manifest
Yeah.
destiny.
But I don't wanna lose like this.
There's too many conditions.
You have to hope that you're not about to go through reverse slingshot theory right now. Like you probably win, and now you're gonna lose like 12 games in a row.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Hopefully. I just work hard. Not gonna happen again. But it's fun right now. Really good. People don't sad that much. They look sad, but I just saying to them, don't be sad. It's nice lose. So we can be better. I know how to fix this problem. And they're good. They're fine. And I'm fine too. Just sad.
At least we beat one Korean team, That would have been like the worst result in human history
Awesome.
if like both Korean teams had just shit on both Western teams. Just to give us a little bit of hope,
Yeah.
And we can just say
That's true.
nightmarish shit, We can just
I thought they're pretty good, but I don't know. They just lose too easy. I don't know why. They're not that bad in Scrim.
I have a narrative for you if you would like to hear it. Let me spin something up real quick.
I got some spinning going here, man.
I got some spin. They're onliners. Like, it's plain and simple. They're onliners. You put those guys on a stage, any sort of lights up in front of them, and it's too bright straight away. Because it's clear now. After they got absolutely pounded by Wei, nobody's going down 0-3 to Wei. That's a disgrace to the West, is what that is. Losing 0-3 to Wei. You can't be doing that. And the only possible reason for it at this stage is that they're onliners. They've beaten this choker narrative, right? They won that zero stakes grand final, and they won a Ram mirror versus Infected on map 5 with Anaban, thanks to Danny's draft docs. So they can't possibly be chokers, but they might just be onliners at the end of the day because you put them on the big stage and it's just shit hurts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the stage is going to be even bigger at Hangzhou, though.
Yeah, well, when
Huge.
they're surrounded by 5,000 rabid Chinese fans, let's see if they can stand up to Kaneki, is all I'm going to say.
Rabid?
On the matter.
They're going to be rooting against them first game. It's Team CC first game as well, right? So everyone
Yeah.
cheer against Nightmare.
To be honest, I think we're going to be the team to send Team CC home, but either way, we'll have to see how they cope with that big bright stage in Hangzhou. That's the narrative, Post Poop Cup, like this is basically all we have to take away from it is that those guys must be onliners because 0-3 away with TopDragon instead of WhoRU. Come on now.
The other big change I think we saw at the event was obviously T1, new roster, new player maybe in Vigilante, skewed, moving over onto playing some Lucio as well. This T1 actually looked pretty good, right? Like significantly better than the last time around. Like I think a lot of people maybe had opener as sort of the weakest link out of everyone else, but now this backline.
Spun his career out of here.
Spun the guy out of a job, the poor bastard.
But this looks really good, I thought. I thought actually skewed. Obviously, the big question mark was always going to be Lucio, right? The same question we have of players like Lee Min as well. Once they go over to Brig, Lucio, how can they hold? But obviously, we know about skewed Brig already. But his Lucio actually looked really solid as well. And now this T1 team looks, I think, significantly scarier going into stage 2.
Yeah, the Scucio looked like totally doable, and honestly, I feel like people were like shitting on like Nightmare and VP for like, oh, you lost to Korea 6th seed or 5th seed, whatever they were. But like, I think they're top 3 now. Like, I think they're probably better than Zeta now, to be honest.
Oh, Zeta scrimming?
Huh?
Yeah,
Zeta scrimming.
We haven't scrimmed Zeta, but others have.
We scrim with them today. We scrimmed in first block. They're fine, but not that great.
I mean, I could believe it. Like, I mean, I could believe it. Like on paper, they have like really fucking insane X factors, like we always speak about. If they just didn't have someone that was getting spun off the map, you know, by the doctor, then like, I could see them having an insane upside.
Yeah, their upside is fucking insane. Look at Dongak and Proud just going at it, and now they've got like insane double flexibility with like the best brig in the world. Or, at least once upon a time. So really good, I think. Like really high potential.
Yeah, Dongak is so good.
Plus that one sub DPS. That's just not him, but that's okay.
Bye then. See you later, pal.
As soon as you spin one player out, there's always more spinning to do.
No. I mean, they are genuinely just like one top level sub DPS away from being like, on the same level as Falcons and Raccoon, for sure. And I think Falcons is like, must be a cut below. Falcons won recently, but I feel like Falcons has to be like a tiny little cut below Crazy Raccoon because of all the Hunt Binston and the Hall going around. Like that just doesn't. Yeah, the Hall just doesn't like work in my head, to be honest. Like I just don't believe in that.
But yesterday, Propo told me they have secret weapon. They have some comp.
Wow.
They're not gonna play monkey everywhere.
Harmon's gonna pick an off tank. Oh, holy shit!
Have you heard of Diva?
Oh my god! Harmon gonna play Diva? He's gonna play unbelievable.
I don't think there's really too much else from the SOOP Cup. I think enjoyable tournament, good use of making having the teams out there for the boot camp to get a little bit of cross-regional play outside of just the majors. So really rare treat, I think, in terms of getting to see all that play, even if didn't go all that well for Nightmare. Any strong thoughts, I guess, while we're still on it about obviously TopDragon ends up swapping with WhoRU over to Gen G. Any big thoughts on this for TopDragon in terms of it's a pretty decent team as far as moves go when you're kicked off your main team?
I think there's nowhere better for him to land, but it's like a downgrade on WhoRU, like just lose like one of your insane upsides. I think like Wei is significantly weaker now than what they were before. So I don't know. It's good for TopDragon just because it's somewhere to be, but like how good is it really? That's an unsigned team. They're not making any money, so it doesn't really mean anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess stuck also in the hardest region to qualify for anything reasonable as well.
It's just like salaried to unpaid and cooked. So like it's pretty grim, to be honest.
So that's pretty good then.
It's as good as it could have been for him, but like
but still pretty bad. Yeah.
I mean, your spin doctoring of opener, but it was Coach OC that spin doctored TopDragon out of the league with the montage,
When he played Farah in the matches when I was co-streaming them, everyone in chat like, oh, here comes the barrage, here comes the barrage.
Dude, I actually just got doctored off the planet, so there's nothing you can do.
This episode has very kindly been sponsored by Faceit, and the reason they've sponsored us this time is because the Faceit ranked pugs, they are live. The club system is live. Now, all of a sudden, you've probably seen a lot of the pros playing FPL, playing with a lot of the other top players. The Faceit pugs are basically that, but for any skill level. Anyone can play, anyone can sign up. You can sign up to a club, which is one of the big new programs which allows new members of the community to interact, set up their own thing, play with people they know, make new friends, new players to play with, maybe even find players they want to play with in a team. I've set up a club for myself, for my community. I think everyone who's played it so far in my community, they've signed up, they've joined in voice, playing with each other. And the feedback I've had actually has been overwhelmingly positive in terms of everyone enjoying this. Way more than ranked. Suddenly everyone is in voice, everyone is in comms. I know you even played a couple at the start, Chrissy.
I did actually. I'm part of the CommanderX club, and yeah, like you said, it is actually, it's really fun. You know, I think that you within the club itself, you can obviously join, and then you get queued into a game. You do your bans and stuff, and it's something that we've maybe spoke about before. The idea that this is like the optimal way to play Overwatch, right? Like it's far better to play with 5 people all communicating, all trying to win. And I think what the club program does, which is maybe unique, which it's not, you're not just always playing against random people. Like you said, your club is actually very active. I get pinged almost every night from the same sort of like group of people looking to play. And it actually becomes like a really nice way to meet the same people, to keep playing together. You'll obviously develop more synergy, like you'll start to play the same heroes. And what it does seem to be for most people that do play within the club program, within the CommanderX club, it's people actually just prefer it to ranked, you know, like people will then go back and that evening hour or two of Overwatch that they do after work or school, they prefer to play in the club play in the FPL rather than just queuing ranked. And I really think as it's grown, this is just, it's becoming more and more accessible for everyone of every skill. And I think it just becomes a better way to play Overwatch.
Yeah, I think the other thing that maybe hasn't been touched on is, you know, not just if you want to stoke your competitive flame, jump into a club, make some new friends. You can instead, I'm going to make my own club for my team or for my stream so that I can prove once and for all that my viewers are significantly better at Overwatch than Xavier's viewers. Because, you know, you can talk all about community and finding new friends. We can also just build aggressive competition between 2 stream communities. And I feel it's actually well overdue that I make a club so that, you know, maybe you can prove that your club is better than somebody else's club, which is very important to me personally above all else. The whole earn yourself a little bit of money, higher quality games than ranked people are trying. That might be an upside for you too. But for me, it's all about the ego.
Well, all about the ego, but there's not just ego and bragging rights on the line. There's also money. The club program, you sign up with your club, anyone can create one, you get set up, and then you get entered into this leaderboard. There's $15,000 prize pool for the first round of this up until May the 4th. $4,000 for first place, just for playing with people, for playing a better version of ranked. More money than you ever get playing ranked otherwise, and a better experience as well. I think there's really actually... there's no reason to play ranked almost over this if this is an option. Like, I think when it's open, the ability to queue up, the ability to win money, for prizes, you even get little bits. It goes all the way down. I think it is to maybe even like 50th. So you get little bits all the way down, plenty of clubs to enter. You get to run into some players. I know my club, there we are, 27th. We can do better, guys. We can get up above 27th. But my club, they keep running into Cloudy every week. Happened the last 2 weeks in a row. I just get a ping in the Discord. Hey, we beat Cloudy again in FPL, in Faceit ranked pugs. So run into some pros, ruin some pros days, get those bragging rights, get yourself some cash money. You can sign up now, get involved. I think 100% you enjoy playing Overwatch. This is an even better way to enjoy playing Overwatch. I think everyone who I've spoken to from my community who's experienced it directly, I think they're playing more Overwatch. They're enjoying it more. So thank you to Faceit for sponsoring this episode. Go sign up. Go try out the system as well. Free to participate. So give it a crack. Then should we talk about China a little bit? It was a while ago now, but China played their qualifiers as well. They crammed in their entire OWCS. I don't think there was too many surprises. Once again, beat everyone by a country mile. Qualified in first place. Who would have guessed? They're still pretty good. Oh my God. A real shocker. The key game ended up actually being a group stage game between CC and Rock. This is where I guess the Chinese OWCS got a little bit funky because we had this situation where, because it was single elimination in the bracket, this game between Rock and Team CC in group stage basically determined the winner gets to go onto a side of a bracket without once again. The loser has to go onto the once again side of a bracket. and there's no way to qualify past once again, really. So it ended up being a super high stakes match. Rock Esports, I don't know what it is, maybe some spin, maybe some sort of supernatural curse. This roster, everything just goes wrong for them. They get reverse swept by Team CC in what feels like an unlosable situation. They get the shit side of a bracket. They do everything they can to try and avoid the shit side of a bracket as well, because they have another game after this game they lose, where it looks like they're going to be on the wrong side of a bracket. They have to play Team Blade, and then we get one of the most bizarre matches of Overwatch we've had in a while, where Rock Esports and Blade go into a game which both teams are actively trying to lose. And between each of these games, we get a long pause, way longer than usual. Presumption is the admins are chatting to them, trying to get them to stop throwing, because this series was getting out of hand. It goes on for like 2 hours, even though it's like 4 maps. At one point, Rock Esports, they all lose power. They all lose power in map 4 when it looks like they might be winning the series, and suddenly the power goes out. And nobody believed them. So what did they do? They sent a picture of the little icon on their computer saying no internet. So I can't refute that level of evidence. So I think really maybe one of the bigger talking points, as much as the teams coming out CC, and once again it feels fair enough, right? Because once again one of their games and Team CC beat their closest opposition in groups as well. But obviously a problem with the format here now. We've ended up in a situation where teams are incentivized to lose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like we just need to do some double elimination or something, Keep it classic.
Just get a tournament started up like less than a week before the LAN happens, and then maybe you can get a second bit of the bracket in. Don't have to do back to back games with Chen.
Super solvable, isn't it? I think when they've got like a full stage 2 schedule to work with, I think just whenever you're playing for top 2, all of a sudden single elim becomes like a really awkward way to qualify for top 2 compared to double.
Just imagine how many wank games there's going to be to watch. Spread out over a double elimination bracket, because God, those games are shocking. Like, just by far the worst.
The good news, I didn't watch any of them.
You didn't even watch the Chinese Swiss,
nothing,
Chris? You didn't watch the Chinese Swiss? They had like a 550 team Swiss. I thought that'd be right up your alley.
I didn't watch SOOP Cup. I didn't watch a single thing for the last 2 weeks.
China plus the Swiss? It's your 2 favourite things, Chris.
And
I probably would have fucking loved it now that you mentioned it. It probably was fucking unbelievable television. That's I'm doing my I'm starting my career. I'm transition over to Plat Chat in the next few months. So I've decided to start practicing by just not watching any of the games.
You've gone woke, have you?
Yeah, I gone woke. I thought I'm just gonna not watch.
I hope you enjoy being broke, mate. So I guess speaking of broke, one other tournament that happened this weekend, the Promotion Relegation, which I think overall actually a pretty good success in terms of, talks about problems with the China format, but actually this really good weekend tournament, I think, in terms of everything to play for, high stakes games, matchups against each other. We had a bracket in EMEA and a bracket in North America. 4 teams enter, 2 teams go up, 2 teams go down. And I thought actually really enjoyable tournament. EMEA probably had a few more of the better games, even though they weren't like the biggest map 5 nail biters. I think actually, because all the stakes were always high, we had like the first round of games where everyone had 2 lives still. Then all of a sudden, every game is elimination or promotion or something. So every game had a lot of stakes. And Quick Esports and Frosttails both come through. So 2 brand new teams into EMEA OWCS. I don't know if you guys caught much of it.
No, man.
What's that team?
Wait, who?
The one.
Frosttails is like the French team with like Crocs and everything.
I'm glad Crocs is back in OWCS.
He deserves it. He's got heart.
Yeah. The only disappointing thing about, I think, the whole production is it was match chat off the entire time. So I think we need to start some sort of Crocs-based campaign. Now Crocs is re-entering OWCS to turn match chat back on in officials. Because Crocs, we kept seeing him stop walking, presumably to type something, but we never heard the words coming out of his keyboard.
That seems like such a backward step that we just stopped having match chat on. Like, was there anything bad that happened last year that made us... Because we had it on for most of last season, no?
I think it was on, off. Like, I think it just depends on whether or not the observers forget to hit the button.
This season
it's
too?
usually-
I feel like I've
Was
not
there
seen
any
it
this season?
Maybe it's always off this season, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they've just like actively decided to, strip away a little bit of personality in that regard.
I was thinking there has been too much personality in OWCS recently.
Yeah.
I was like, we could just tone that down a tiny bit,
Yeah, no, that checks out, actually. They just wanted to take away a little bit of personality. It was a bit too good last year, Do away with those coach interviews, that match chat, all that sort of shit.
Yeah, don't need that. I just focus on the game,
We're all here because we love the game.
Approach.
And Crocs.
Is he good?
No, but he's kind of like, he's got aura,
Oh.
I kind of like him. I think he's got like a little bit of next up energy, Like he plays everything.
Next
plays
up
it all
energy. Isn't he like 30?
I mean, that doesn't matter, mate. It's the energy. It doesn't matter about if you actually are next up or not. It's got the energy, I kind of like Crocs.
That's not too bad.
Yeah,
He's
like
always
30.
aggressive. He's always he's just making your life AIDS, He's like one of those players you don't want to play against, which is, I think, a compliment in reality,
He's AIDS. A compliment.
Yeah, I would say so.
That could be the title. Crocs is AIDS.
Crocs is AIDS.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be fair, I think both teams that qualified, more than deserving, right? Actually pretty comfortable victories in the end. Sakura get eliminated in, I guess, pretty horrendous style. They lose 3-1 to both of the newly or the Face It Masters teams. So really hard to argue anything in their favour and that they should have stayed in. And in reality, stage one, they didn't make any impact, right? Really, Sakura. Maybe they took a map off a team here or there. But
Did they take 2 off, Chris? Or was it a 3-1?
It was just one.
It was
mate, just
1.
one.
Yeah, that Coliseum felt like a
Get
loss.
that
No, you
spinning
remember
away,
that
mate.
Coliseum? That was like a
Somewhere else,
1.5 at least, mate. Yeah, I'm
Don't
spinning that
me
up.
here with your bullshit.
They got fucking relegated 0-2 and you were dog fighting with Kev Trazer to take that Coliseum.
But a win's a win,
And green in the sheet, innit?
You guys were losing maps to random fucking comers too, no?
Yeah, but we're in China now, aren't we?
Fucking
We're halfway there.
shit,
Hey, that's not fair, Hunter.
Yeah, you guys finish in NA who can't even take half a map against the Korean team, We had to compete against real teams. It's just
Oh, come on now, mate. It's an online situation. They're a different beast
if
when it comes
SSG
to
was in the
online
Poop Cup,
matches.
you guys would have been
If
dominating.
SSG was in the Poop Cup, we would have been there in the grand final getting 4-0'd by T1, just like anyone else. But we would have made it past Way. I'll tell you that much for free.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking nightmare. Maybe they just
Damn
need
bright
like
lights.
90% scrim win rate to maintain any confidence. Like maybe that's the problem. They come to Korea and it's 50% and they just can't live with 50%, They lose.
It's the lights. It's the stage. It's the thrill of the crowd, all that.
Too much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that SOOP crowd was super dead too. There's not a lot of people there.
Even for grand finals?
And more people come for the
like.
Yeah, I mean, none of these teams are popular. Like people go for Crazy Raccoon and for Falcons
Yeah.
and for Zeta.
They
And
don't have
The Poop
that
Cup had
much
none of those
crowd.
3.
Yeah.
Apart from the Shockwave super fans. I saw there was a few of them.
It was Vestala super fans. Vestala was the most popular, it felt like.
Really? How'd you get a Vestala super fan from Korea? I don't know.
Like
Those don't
they
exist,
have some
mate.
fan, but not that much.
Yeah, nothing super.
Yeah.
It was
When I'm watching like Crazy Raccoon and Falcon game, they just cannot go back to home after game.
Yeah.
Like before 1 a.m. or something. Just every queue is so long for say hello to player. Like that looks so.
I would hate that. Apart from the fact that the Korean fans are always gifting like Gucci shoes and stuff, so it's like you can kind of get away with it, Like it's a secondary income.
Yeah.
There's an upside to it, but
Yeah.
how much time spent standing in a queue to take the same picture can one man muster?
It was one actually that was a little fan card with like pictures of Admiral printed out on it, like a little collage of Admiral. One lethal, mostly Admiral with 1 lethal and a little London Spitfire logo as well. So never.
Admiral got a really cute sign, like a Lucio sign as well.
I like that. Some Korean Ollie super fans. You don't expect that, do you?
That's the thing about Ollie, he moves in silence, but I mean, he has a certain draw to him and allure. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is the mentality behind becoming a Ollie super fan? You think like my feeling is it's like you're trying to do something different. Like if you become like a lip super fan, you're like drowning on all the. But it's like if I become the Ollie super fan, nobody else is doing this, you know. So it's like my chance.
Big fish, small pond.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think it is.
Pond theory. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he could just like Ollie, but that seems way
no,
less
that's outrageous.
Like that seems almost impossible to me.
Yeah.
You haven't watched a single, like he's never streamed, he's never done a single interview. They're like, I mean, Ollie's the perfect OWCS player in terms of like broadcast because there's no personality there, you know, like don't have to show anything.
Yeah, but maybe less is more, right? He's elusive. You've never heard him speak. You've never seen him on an interview.
True.
What is he like? If you don't know what he's like, you start filling in the blanks in your head, you know?
Yeah.
Mysterious. So, where were we? Oh, yeah, so Sakura relegated seems fair enough. Maybe the biggest news of all is Vision Esports getting eliminated here. And I don't know what it is, but it's always something with Vision. It's always something, isn't it? So initially, the first 2 games are broadcast, and we'll come back to this in Client of the Week, so we'll sort of start it here because it's relevant. Initial games are for both regions are off broadcast, right? So there's these 2 upper bracket games. If I show you, these are not on broadcast. So for whatever reason, the rule was the admins asked all the teams if they were happy for co-streamers to be in the game. And everyone said yes, except one team in the Team Vision Frosttails. There was no official report of which team, but considering Frosttails is Crocs' team, Keo and Pac were streaming their POVs for that match. I'm
really
no
want them because
detective.
it's an exclusivity thing. Like if we say fuck the co-streamers, the only people that can watch have to come through my stream. Maybe it's big money.
Oh, it's a money move from Keo and Pac.
It could be some big money move.
It could be. Or it could
That's
be
RuPaul
Vision
theory,
Esports.
that.
Do you remember back in Swiss last time where it was these same 2 teams or the same 2 cores playing basically, and Crocs and the team were giving it so big in team chat that even the Koreans, Taejong and Simple, were typing back to them as well, and it like all sort of kicked off. So my theory is even pre-game, Vision come in a little bit rattled. Don't want the lights, don't want the pressure. They want it off stream. Then they lose anyway. Oh no, sorry, then they win. So they win, no pressure. Potentially, no lights, no pressure. They manage to win the game. Then they go to play Quick Esports. And then Vision Esports, they run into another problem where one of their players is missing. One of their players is missing.
I heard about that.
And so they have to default the first map against Quick Esports. This is the game that is winner gets promoted or gets to stay in OWCS. Missing a player, they get defaulted. We can look at the tweets later if you want about, like, obviously, Vision had some thoughts on this as well. But it just always seems to be something with Vision. Then after all this drama, all this back and forth, they get 3-0'd anyway, so maybe the one map wasn't the difference maker. Then they get 3-0'd in the lower bracket final as well, and they get eliminated. And
who did they play in the lower bracket final? Frosttails again?
Frosttails again. So Frosttails lost the first game against them, got the revenge in the important game.
I mean, that's karma. And there's literally, I can't think of a single worse, like a most cringeworthy decision is I don't want my game to be streamed. Like my official tournament game, I don't want people to watch that. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's just pathetic.
You know? Like, it's actually like the biggest beta mindset I've ever fucking seen. So, cheers to them getting relegated. I mean, also probably actually insane that you can be late to like what presumably is like it's probably more important than any game in OWCS for these teams, you know. Just being in is everything. But you know, we all have different standards and stuff, you know. So what can you say?
Maybe it just wasn't important to some of them, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like somehow the admin's fault that they had a map penalty for not showing up to the match.
I mean, it's just fucked up, you know? Like, maybe they thought it was like scrims where you can just be half an hour late and there's no repercustions. Maybe they just
no
do what they do in
consequences.
practice, you know?
I really do like that about scrims. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, because I think it's also a little bit fucked. Because because these 2 games in the upper bracket are happening at the same time, right? we've all been in situations where we're either warming up for a match and one of the teams you might play is playing the game before you or something in a tournament. So you either have it on a second monitor or you'll have one of your other coaches or one of the players watch it so you know what to expect, right? But in this version of things, Quick and Sakura said, yeah, happy for our game to be co-streamed. So Vision Esports get to watch Quick and Sakura's game, see what comps they're playing, know what to expect. But Quick and Sakura don't get the same luxury. I mean, obviously, it's mitigated a little bit by Pac and Kyo's streaming too, right? But it's not the same. I know there's replays on Faceit pretty quickly and stuff, but it's still like an inherent disadvantage to Quick and Sakura because they said, yes, we want these big tournament games to be streamed, which seems a pretty reasonable decision.
Why is it even an option? Why are teams even allowed to say no? Like, where in the rules are like OWCS be like, all right, then fair enough, then don't worry about that, man. we'll turn the lights off. Like, how is that even an option?
Did you not see Real Madrid the other night? They were playing. Mbappe said, look, I'm happy to play, but I don't really want too many people watching. Can we get the crowd out of here? Get the crowd out of here. Tell them they can't watch today, you know? Tell them they can't watch. They can get the replays, they can have the highlights, but not live. Get them all out of the stadium, you know? So, yeah, I mean, send this feedback to OWCS as well, just saying, like, don't let these teams decide. It's a major tournament game. It's an official match. Of course it should be broadcast. It's not an option. It's not a personal preference. I mean, obviously, it's only become an issue because one team decided to say no. But I think as soon as you introduce these things, that can maybe give you a little bit of a competitive edge, right? There's always a risk it creeps in that people are just going to use it to their advantage to try and get ahead, especially when these games are like such a difference maker. But anyway, congratulations to Vision Esports for becoming the best paid team in Faceit Masters. Over in North America, there was a much more drama-free experience. I think we just had some matches. Again, we had a really similar situation. Oh, what?
Sorry, someone sneezed. You got it. Bless.
You got it. Yeah,
it's the rules. Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike turning up to your official match on time, that's not a rule. But
no. Well, I mean, it's a rule, but it doesn't really matter. Like, not to me at least. With the bless you thing, like that's kind of deal breaker.
North America then, much more straightforward tournament in terms of everyone turned up to their matches on time. Everyone was happy for their matches to get watched by the public as well. And we saw a similar situation. Both the OWCS teams got relegated. Supernova and Dilducks become our new teams in OWCS North America. I think Supernova, no surprises here. This is the old fluffy Aimers team from last season. It looks a little bit different, but it's still got Astro and Ryan, Renko, Grapes, and Jutsu as well. And they really kind of dominated. Didn't lose a single map, straight up for them. And this is probably redemption. If you remember all the way back at the start of the year, this is the team that inexplicably lost to Amplified to not get the spot in the first place. So they finally got themselves into OWCS. They did it the old-fashioned way, coming up through the leagues. And then maybe the bigger surprise, is it felt like a lot to play for, Dilducks versus Shikigami. And it was actually deja vu. Shikigami win 3-2 in the first round against Dilducks. They meet again in the important game. And I guess once the lights got brighter, too much for Shikigami. 3-0 for Dilducks, and they get their spot in OWCS as well.
Jeez.
Ooh. So Shikigami cannot play OWCS, right?
Yeah, they're relegated. They're dead.
Ooh.
Shikigami cut.
Shikigami.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Not yummy. Had a Korean player as well. So actually, to be fair, in both regions, teams with Korean imports, relegated.
Who's a Korean player?
A Rise.
Oh, A-Rise, yeah.
Hitscan player.
Yeah. Is he an import or is he just like going to... I'm pretty sure he's just going to school in America.
He might just be in America as like at college, yeah. But
yeah.
Either way,
Korean,
I'm trying to spin the anti-Korean narrative here, you know?
Let's try and leave the spinning to the professionals, okay?
I'm trying to get my doctorate, all right? I'm going... Oh,
stay in your lane.
I'll get there. So yeah, that's all set. That tees us up for stage 2 in terms of joining the other 6 teams. Obviously happen. Should we talk a little bit more about the actual major itself? Because we're really leading up to it now. When are you guys flying to China?
The day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
From now. Yeah.
16th. Everyone's going in like the morning / early afternoon. We'll touch down.
You'll be on the same flight, I guess.
Maybe different to them. Just our team all on the same flight, their team all on the same flight.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I didn't check my
Yeah.
flight ticket, so I
It's
don't know.
direct?
Yeah, it's direct.
How long is the flight? Like 4 hours?
2 hours. That's
No,
like
2 hours. 2 hours, like 2 hours, 30 minutes or something. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually.
Or
really not bad
maybe it's
then.
3 because there's a time zone shift actually. So that I'm
Mm.
not too sure. I'm not an expert on these things, to be honest.
Which airline? Air China?
China Southern or China Eastern or something.
Ah, one of the good
One of
ones.
those China blanks. Yeah, I mean it has China in the name. Of course, it's one of the good
Yeah.
ones to you, man.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant airline.
It's top notch as far as
Yeah.
Chinese air travel goes.
Oh, unbelievable.
But yeah, we'll head off in 2 days, and then I think maybe even on the day we arrive, we have to do stuff. I saw
a
like
media
photo, like makeup and photo shoots. Was, like,
Yeah.
maybe on the
media
day
thing.
that they arrive.
Oof.
So that's sick.
Well, if it's only
Chinese
2 hour
makeup
flight, I
is
guess it's not
insane.
that
They
bad,
need to get out
right?
of
Like,
the
They
way, right?
they cake it on
Yeah.
them. It's crazy.
you'll probably
Maybe
do loads
made
of
up.
filters too. The Chinese. That's one of the things I've noticed culturally is they fucking love filters. Like they'll do. Like my family will do like pictures of their children, and the fucking 2-year-old child will have like filters on, and I'm like, that's crazy. But you
I
know.
mean, aren't the filters like baked into the
It's, like,
camera
literally
apps to give you body
hard-coded in.
like to give you
Yeah.
body dysmorphia from the youngest
day
age
one.
possible? So anytime
Yeah.
you look at yourself in the mirror, you recognize that you're just inadequate because you're not how you look with the filter on.
I was worried these babies would have too much self-esteem, so that's good.
Start them young.
I feel like actually, is he ordering a drink?
He's just telling one of his players to get him some water, I guess. And directing them to where the water is. If you don't know, it's just out there, mate. Out there.
It's king of logical deduction right there. It's actually just
Yeah.
like blow for blow from Chrissy there. I can see why you're capable of like just reading homeless stats off the streets with like, you know, just a gust of wind, and you can. I've been twice accosted, but I'm not sure whether or not they're homeless. But every day we
Really?
walk through a subway like substation to get to Fearex from our hotel, and twice I have aggroed a random old man mob that has like come up to me and like started, you know, getting a little aggressive with me. So, you know, maybe he has a
Really?
home. Yes.
Oh my god.
Twice.
Aggressive
Aggroed
how?
a
Like,
random mob.
asking for money, or
He like come up and like asked me where I was from, and then started shouting and like going nuts, like going schizo. So
Is it the same guy?
Alex told me that the guy today, he thought it was the same guy, but I thought it's not the same guy. I'm
Like
talking about the homeless, not homeless guy that I've aggroed twice. Yeah. So, you know, this image of utopia, it's slipping away, Chrissy. That's all I'll say.
I mean, listen, if we're also being honest, if we just want to, I mean, we can keep talking about this because it's my favorite topic. If you've only aggroed 2 in any major city in the West, how many have you aggroed? Let's be real. Let's keep that real. I'm still statistically spot on here, as we Googled. I think I only saw 2 in my entire time living there for like a year and a bit, but maybe you like...
possible it's the same 2 that Max has seen, and there's actually only 2. There's only 2 in the entire country, and you just happen to have bumped into them both.
It's possible.
It's a
You
small
need to go
city.
to the Squid Game Park that has like all of them.
Squid Game
What's the
Park.
Squid Game Park.
You
Like the one from the show with the
Like
bread.
there's like a park where they all where everyone is, but I don't think that's real. And that's just like No, I don't think it's real. I think if you went to that park now, I don't think that's what it would be like.
Why would you believe something in Squid Game? It's a fictional TV show. Like grow
Exactly,
up,
mate.
Xavier.
You think there's an island with fucking people killing each other too, do you, X? You fucking idiot.
This guy was born
Yeah,
with the
mate.
wool over his eyes. He didn't even need to pull it.
Yeah, luckily as I've grown older, I've lost all my hair and that wool. I can see the world finally.
Are you
Shocker.
guys been going out every night in Korea?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yes.
I'm just drinking during 1 month. Like, I'm not even rest.
Where
every
did you
day.
go? Where was the
Just
near the hotel, or you went to like?
We've been around.
like around and just in
Hongdae
in
and
the break.
Itaewon.
Yeah, in the
Mm.
break in my home, I'm just drink alone in my room.
Oh, nice.
Vacation. Yeah, yeah.
Do you know Smash? Do you know
He's talking about now that we're boot camping, Smashy.
Yeah.
You know how
He's
they
out
do
every
like a
night.
dry January? Smash is
Dry
doing
January?
a very they call it dry January, where people don't drink in April, no alcohol. You are doing the
really?
opposite. Yeah, you were doing
Yeah.
wet April, I
Really?
guess.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
wet April.
I wanna stop drinking.
It's
I
not
won't
easy though, is
stop.
it?
Yeah, it's
But
easy
not
for
today,
me.
Smash. Not today.
Yeah, not today.
Did you guys go out for
Maybe
food, or
tomorrow.
you just eat everything at the boot camp?
Always go out for food. We're fat.
do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
double dip. What's the best
Triple
thing you've
dip,
eaten so
even.
far?
I had a really good kimchi jjigae on the first night. That was like really delicious.
And
there's just,
today
like,
we go to eat for tuna,
Yeah, like
like
nice raw tuna.
low tuna. I
Yeah.
found a spot. So
The
we're
second
gonna
we
eat
wrap up this
Japanese-
podcast,
yeah.
You going there again?
I went for dinner with Craig.
Oh yeah.
WDG jacket Craig, and he put me on raw whitefish and live octopus. Oh,
Was it good?
What's good?
yeah. I mean, it's like all that stuff is kind of just like chewy, and you dip it in shit to make it taste better.
Mm,
It's alright though. I enjoyed it. It's a good vibe. You know, dominated that fucking octopus too.
Mate.
Uh,
There's
No
a reason
chance
we're
against you.
no, genuinely, it didn't stand a
You
chance.
spun that fucker up.
It's actually so hard to pick it up. I couldn't pick it up with a chopstick, so I had to use a spoon. It's like too difficult.
Is it just like a full octopus?
Nah, they've like chopped it up in little bits, and I think they sprinkle some salt on it or something. It just keeps writhing around for a while after, like if they've just recently killed it. I'm not sure like the tech exactly. But yeah, it's all chopped up into bits.
All right. Well fed. Let's talk about the major itself then. I'm actually pretty excited in terms of, I don't know if you guys have heard much. I've not really heard anything official, but I feel like my expectations, I'm raising my expectations for how good this major is going to be. Because I feel like first event
Really?
in China in a very long time. Not yeah, in terms of just like the spectacle, like the arena, the show, I'm expecting like
yeah.
a lot.
The
Like,
arena
production
looks
value, everything
insane.
like this.
The stadium
Like
looks so insane, so big.
I'm really, really, really excited about that. The stadium has a capacity for 5,000 people, and the event is sold out, I think, for every day. So it's going to be really, really, really fucking fun to have like this
Yeah.
absolutely insane stage where like the stage looks very, very much reminiscent of like the BlizzCon World Cup stage where you're like surrounded and you're in the center. And to be completely surrounded by Chinese fans. And I'm not suggesting that we're going to lose to Crazy Raccoon in first round and then go into lower bracket and play against Team CC in the second round on the same day. But if that were to happen, that would mean that surrounded by a fully packed crowd of 5,000 Chinese fans, we would get to send a full Chinese team home on the first day. And I think that is
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really
we have-
excited.
we-
I'm really excited.
Yeah, we have a match with once again in the first match, so same
Good
as
luck with that, buddy.
Yeah.
That Winston band can't come any sooner, bro.
Kind of afraid because all fan will be Chinese fan, so
No, I think the having once again in the first round is who's higher seed, you or them?
us, we're higher.
Oh,
seed.
you're so lucky. That means map one you can spam monkey. Like that's actually perfect for you, to be honest. Like first to two series, you go up 1-0 with that first ban, because if you had it the other way around, you wouldn't get to ban on map 3. You know, you would lose map 1. They protect tank you, but this way, like with higher seed, it actually makes a huge difference, and you can just win 2-1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice, but I'm afraid like Chinese fan because they're screaming. I'm pretty sure they're screaming for once again.
Of course.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I think so, yeah.
I mean,
No
they
way.
just like cheering up for once again.
It'll
And
cheer
Do you
you
think
up.
they'll boo? Do you think they'll boo?
Boo?
Like boo? Like that's what like.
Yeah,
Western-
something like that. Yeah,
You think they
something like
will?
that. Yeah, I think so for us.
Ooh, that'd be good actually.
Yeah, I don't care, but players care, I guess.
Was it at Esports World Cup? Was it sugar free, like the Toronto team? Oh, I forget which game it was. Were they playing Twisted Minds or something? And then like the crowd was against them basically. But then, like, I
Yeah,
remember like sugar free and some of the other players saying like actually it was like the most
Yeah.
fun game, you know? Because even if you get the big play and everyone's like the crowd's booing you, And there's still a lot of noise and energy, and then you can sort of feed off, like, just pissing off the entire room, you know?
Do you ever remember those discussions the Overwatch community used to have back in the day about, like, is it right to boo a team? And, like, we were, like, during, like, Overwatch League and home stands and stuff, and it was like, I remember when we did the Philly home stand, we just giga-booed everyone that wasn't Philly. It was so good. And there was all these fucking Reddit threads. This is a bit much. This isn't very nice. Have you
ever been to a sporting event? Like...
Yeah. I remember I took my fiance to her first football match. We go watch Nottingham Forest versus Man United. We're in the Forest end, and then within like the match kicks off, 2 minutes in, Marcus Rashford gets the ball left wing. Someone shouts, "Break his fucking legs!" And my fiance looks at me, was like, "That's a bit much." I was like, "No, not really. I mean, you don't mean literally, you know, but you know, it's fine. It's just What do you expect?"
I mean, I'm a Man United fan, and I praise someone breaks Marcus Rashford's fucking legs. He's so shit. So,
were you in that game as well?
I probably was. I was in the home end, but like, fucking get him.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I'm interested. Yeah, I think obviously there'll be big support for the Chinese teams. And again, if what Max says sort of comes true as well, now once again, and maybe the closest of the Korean teams, it maybe sets up some really exciting series down the line as well.
I feel like it's once again versus Falcons, which you really want, right? Like that's like the real
that's
grudge
the upper
match.
bracket, right?
No. Falcon versus
you don't want it. Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
No.
Who gives a fuck? But once again, that's the team that they always beat, you know? I feel like once again versus Crazy Raccoons will be fun, but I feel like it's a really tough match for once again, maybe.
Yeah.
But Falcons, they're like fucking 10-0 against that core of players across the last however many tournaments. So I think that's the one that we really want to see.
It's all set up as well, right? Because inevitably this Falcons core have a reputation for just can't resist the mirror against once again. But actually Winston's kind of popular in the meta anyway, so it's sort of justified, so they're easy enough for them to cope themselves into their own heads, and it's just their best option through all the time.
The Winston mirror versus once again, I can see it. Like it's just it's so odd.
No, they have secret weapon.
They have a secret weapon, and it's going to be their off-tank player playing an off-tank. Insane.
And they cancel your Scrim today.
Yeah, those fuckers.
Really? Falcons?
Yeah, someone had too much to drink last night, and suddenly they can't make the Scrim anymore. It's
Who
weird because when you're out with them, they're all, "Oh, I'm a real man. Drink. But then tomorrow when it's time to come to fucking work, oh, sorry, 4 to 6 cancel.
4 to 6? Come on, easy enough time to get over a hangover at 4 p.m.
Take the piss.
Yeah.
From the other teams, because a couple of teams we've not really seen. Obviously, SSG haven't played. You guys haven't really played any match since that grand final. Similar for Alcacia as well. What are the... Obviously, you can maybe talk more about SSG and Alcacia, but what are the expectations then for you guys coming in? First match, Crazy Raccoon, hoping for that CC elimination. But where does, like, big picture, where does it all fall for you? Like, what are you just, like, best of the rest outside Korea?
Yeah, something like that, I'd say. I think it kind of winds up being a situation where it's like, once we're done with CC, the next match is like guaranteed to be pretty hard. You know, it's going to be like, I think it's going to be VPL once again, I think is the way that it works with the bracket. I tried to read through their briefing document, which has like a written error in it, but you know, I tried to read between the lines there and figure it out. So yeah, like I'm pretty sure we'll play VPL once again after CC if that's like the way that it all goes. You know, if we don't upset Crazy Raccoon on map, you know, Series 1, obviously. You know, stranger things have happened. Pigs fly sometimes, so we'll figure it out.
I trust you.
You shouldn't, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can only ban ball once, and they're definitely going to be the highest seed than us.
Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon
they got the same.
Yeah. I mean, we're lower seed than like everyone. We got like, I think we're lower seed than China too. Like China too is going to get the first ban versus us as well. Because like
you guys the 8th seed?
Really? That's actually kind of fucked up, no?
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to do. Yeah, they put like the two Chinese teams next to each other in like the seeding priority.
Yeah, 5 and 6.
It's like, how the fuck did they not put China 2 last? When it's like, you watch that region and it's like, wow, that is actually last. You know, like these, I quite like the China 2 people, actually, because I put my WeChat in the match chat. We all put our WeChat in the match chat. This wasn't a me thing. And I added Kaneki, and like he's sending me pictures of his dinner and shit. Call me handsome from my WeChat profile picture. So and he like picked up a video call, and we all said hi to him. Like I fuck with CC. I fuck with Team CC heavy. But like they're definitely the worst team at the tournament, right? Like come on now.
If we're being real.
I mean, let me be real with you for just 1 second. Like surely. But they're seated above us, so like they'll get preferential pick and stuff like that, and we'll never get picks. I forget if we're 7th or 8th seed, but we're like right at the bottom. Maybe LCAT is lower than us.
I think is NA not higher than EU though? You're like you must be 6th seed, I would guess. No, oh no, 7th seed.
No, I think it's number 3 is NA1, number 4 is EU1, and then 5, 6 are China, we're 7, and LCAT is 8. I think.
So number 3
that
is
makes
NA
no
number
sense,
1.
actually.
Wait,
That's
no.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm
fucking-
saying.
No, EMEA
Yes.
is bottom, right? That's why Alcacia play Falcons. Because
Yeah,
Falcons
well, that's what.
won
Yeah,
Asia.
that's
Yeah.
what Max said. Alcat 8.
I cut is 8. I cut is 8.
So I rained that shit.
Yeah, NTMR is 3,
We're back.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
But I just don't know why those two Chinese teams are next to
Yeah.
each other like that. Like it just doesn't.
Like, how do you determine that? Oh, China is like the lowest ranked for seed 1, but actually their seed 2 is just unreal strong. Like, I mean,
China. Like, you just got to hand it to them. Like they're just so good for it every time. So I've been dying to say that all day. Like it's just been killing me. I can't stop saying it in the office. Like it's literally the first thing I'm going to say when I touch down in that beautiful country. China. Like I keep seeing all this crap on social media right now. It's like, luxury brands being exposed for manufacturing in China and then shipping them overseas to print. And it's like no, they're not. Like, no, they're not. These are the same rip-offs in Chinese. These are like the same Chinese manufacturing rip-offs that there have always been. They're just saying that they manufacture for the big brands now. It's just nonsense. It's just absolute nonsense. Not to get political.
We wouldn't. Not us.
So who is NTMR first match?
CC.
CC.
Yeah? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I'm just hoping that the lights don't get too bright for Nightmare. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, against the home
What?
team with the lights very bright.
yeah, no,
Is that
genuinely,
all?
like that.
Actually,
It's like-
first
'cause
day, first game on stage, best of 3. Not a lot of room for error. Not a lot of room to get nervous.
Oh, I saw on Liquipedia that the second matches were also best of 3. That's untrue, right? Like, that's not right.
Nah, I can't say it, but I also don't have a clue.
Would you know, Xavier? I feel like I'm the person that's supposed to know here.
No, I thought it was just the first one. On Wikipedia, it
Yeah, I
says
thought
now,
so
I don't know if
too.
it's been updated. It's just that first one that is first.
Yeah, because
based
I
on,
thought it was
like,
only the very first match. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it's just
and like
the
that.
first one.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, it still means, Nightmare's
yeah.
first match on stage will be that opening day, first day of the event, arena full of fans. Everyone excited. And
Very
the nice
bright
thing-
lights.
The lights are bright. And the nice
It
thing
will
about
be
Team
bright.
CC qualifying, right, whether you can make maybe we'll rock the better team on paper, it's also an all-Chinese roster, right? So actually, China has managed to send 2 all-Chinese teams to the major, which is quite nice, especially since it's
Pellis
on
Ria and
paper
Chase
as well.
one found dead in the street. Like, insane.
Is there a worry here? Maybe a little bit. Maybe like Virtus.Pro solved some of these problems, but I feel like see a lot of Winston, especially in the meta right now. Does that make this a harder major for EMEA? Like maybe Virtus.Pro, Alcacia as well, both teams who don't really have a Winston player or a Winston player that can go toe to toe with a lot of these other teams.
For me, like, we've kind of figured it out versus Monkey team. But yesterday, T1 don't play Monkey. We won when they play Monkey, right?
Yeah.
Just we have to solve other problem first, I guess. Everything's fine for me because we have a ban, but they have a ban too. So let's see.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like hard to give my perception because it's like we play monkey, you know, like we play monkey. Sometimes it works. Sometimes people figure things out. It's like always a back and forth and back and forth and back and forth about teams figuring out what they want to do and then adjusting back. And you know, even if we do the patented bare minimum approach of not really doing any review to figure it out, we still manage to trade blows on the figuring it out front. So yeah, I feel like main tank is meta right now for sure. You know, like the fact that Falcons is playing Humbinston all the time and Hall sometimes, and their secret is having him play an off tank every now and then. It tells me that like EU is perhaps a little bit disadvantaged in terms of being tethered to the off tanks when it seems like everyone is playing the main tanks. But that's an advantage in its own right, because people get a little bit less practice versus what you do. And I suspect that what's going to wind up happening is VP and Alcat are going to take very, very different approaches to how they want to win. Like they play really different stuff, I think. So both teams are going to have this, like, did we figure it out adequately situation? And I don't really think it's like, I think anyone can win.
Yeah,
all the way through to top 3.
In some ways, it's probably there's almost an argument, if you can figure out enough, it's actually a nicer version of a matchup, right? Whereas maybe a team like you guys as well and Nightmare, a lot of these times are just going to be stuck playing these Winston mirrors against teams that are more than happy to play the same thing again, And then you're just stuck in a situation where you're just playing like a once again or something, and also one of their best comps.
Exactly. It's like that's the reality of the situation where it's like, our best comp is their best comp. So you just have to square up on it. Like we're not gonna go for something else. Like it's just there's no alternative.
No secret weapon.
Well, Kellen's gonna play D.Va.
Ooh. He's so good at D.Va.
Yeah. And you look 25.
Thank you. That's not joke, right?
No.
I think in general, I think we can all agree it's really just it's one call full of people who all look about 25.
Yeah. Nobody here is chopped.
Chopped. We are chopped.
So fucking chopped. Disaster.
One concern I had, maybe you guys who have actually played against once again have more insight on this, but we talked about SSG and Nightmare maybe finding themselves in a situation where they have to play Monkey Mirror against the top Korean teams. Obviously, once again, are happy to do it as well, and they won on this comp before, but are they much worse now? I feel like Lengtser to Mew is actually like a big downgrade from these type of compositions, and that maybe versus some of the Western teams, the rest of their players, Gushue, Leaf Shy, are still more than like they're so good it will be fine. But once you start playing against Falcons and you start playing Crazy Raccoon and it's the two best backlines in the world, is Mew going to be put in a spot where he ends up like potential to be the weak link?
Yes.
Solid.
He is the weak link.
Like, big worry.
Yeah, like if they're losing a close match, just blame him.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what will start spinning.
This was spun years ago. He's literally fully entombed in web. Like there's nothing left. There's no room for narrative penetration at this point. He's completely wrapped up.
There's no counter spin.
No, there's no counter spin.
Cannot be unspun.
Yeah, I mean he keeps renaming to try and escape his reputation, but the people know. Actually, people don't know. I saw people on Reddit saying like, "He's better than Lengtser. What are you talking about? Lengtser was atrocious at Lucio or something like that." It's like, what do you mean? Lengtser's way better at Lucio as well. Like he's better at everything.
I saw
Who's
one.
Mew?
I think.
What?
Who is Mew?
Evital.
Yeah, I didn't know either, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
Oh yeah, well you're locked out. Right.
I am.
Yeah.
Just change his
It's that
name
guy that's been in
every year or
Overwatch League
so.
for like 6 years and was just fucking terrible.
But he keeps changing his name.
Yeah.
So.
I think he's okay, like good enough though, Like if they lose, blame him, but he's just got to not die. That's it. Just don't die, and the other guys will figure it out. They'll kill everyone.
Just live long enough for Gushue to do his job. Everything will be fine.
Truly. Yeah. Or Shy. Shy's pretty fucking good for it.
Shy's really good. Then as we sort of I guess, edge our way towards what we expect to be the top of the bracket as well, I think everyone's still very clearly thinking Crazy Raccoon, Falcons, going to duke it out for top 2. But on paper, it feels like if we're all in this sort of really Winston heavy, even Hazard heavy as well, all of this favors Crazy Raccoon. Ball viable, all favors Crazy Raccoon. But
That's
they
why
also do
Falcons will
keep
win.
losing. They also just keep
That's why
losing that
Falcons will win.
Hambinston mirror.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything points to Crazy Raccoon being the better team and the right meta for them to win this tournament. But
Which is exactly
Will they actually do it?
why Falcons will win.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Falcons. I can't believe in their approach. You know, like I don't have faith in this like Harm-Binston gambit because I just can't see it. Like it feels like definitely the weakest link. But maybe they're just fully convinced that that's the meta and that's it. And then they'll come out with their secret weapon and it'll work out for them because they have like just best in slot for like so much. Yeah. Well, I think the DPS in particular is like that's where like the gap is for those comps.
Yeah, I feel like even when you look back at those 2 victories they had over Crazy Raccoon on with the Hambinston,
they were so fucking nothing.
They were so improbable wins, right? Like they have to clutch like 3 or 4 fights in a row.
One,
and obviously, if you can do that, that's a good thing. To be honest, if you're a super clutch team, that'll probably help you do pretty well at some big tournaments. But it feels like maybe because you get away with it for a map, right? You can maybe win an improbable map like that, but you surely can't do it across an entire series if you're just playing that type of comp in every situation. It feels like the luck has to run out.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I remember they had this situation where it was like they were playing main tanks in OWCS, and I forget whether they played versus Zeta or versus Crazy Raccoon or something, and they got like 4-0'd, or maybe they lost pretty badly to one of the top teams, and then the next day they pivoted to playing off tanks, and they had the hand Binston just for the Gibraltar, but they were playing off tanks, and that was how they won. But now they've gone back to just like full main tank. And like I remember they rolled out on Harm and Ball. I felt like they were just taking the piss. They rolled out on Harm and Ball on Li Jiang. Yeah, so it was versus Crazy Raccoon. It was that match. And their defense was like, well, it was going well in scrims. And it's like, but you're always going to do well in scrims. You're Falcons. You're just better than everyone at everything, you know? Like, you got to have some like big picture thinking on this. So I'm not a huge believer that like them grinding it out on the Winston all the way through is going to get them over the line versus Crazy Raccoon at the end of the day, or even once again. I think even versus once again, I could see if they just die on the sword of Winston once again could take that.
Is it kind of just the same problem again? We talk about this Falcons core always having this sort of like they can't resist mirroring on dive. Is this just really an extension of that, where again they feel like, oh, this is just the best comp, we just have to play this, and then we're going to force it, even if it puts maybe Hambin in a much harder situation?
Something like that. You know, they overvalue dive a little bit. They don't want to like play the other solutions. They're the best at dive, and I mean they do make it work. You know, Lightning literally struck twice for them to win 2 Gibraltars in a row. But I just don't believe that they can do that over a 7 mapper.
Makes sense. But they have a secret weapon.
Real secret. How am I going to play
excited to hear. I'm excited to hear all about this secret weapon, just for it to become like a weapons of mass destruction situation where it doesn't exist at all, and they just play Winston all tournament. All right. Is there anyone else we've not really covered? I feel like we've touched on all the teams.
It's a quickie, this one.
Yeah, Uncoachable heads are in shambles over the length of this podcast, to be honest.
It's all right. We've still got time for a client of the week. But yeah, we'll probably do. Yeah. So I guess client of the week. Oh, actually, you know what we should do?
Go on.
Should we not just money where our mouth is situation? Who's going to win?
Should we do our rankings 1 through 8?
You want to do 1 through 8? All right. Well,
I don't want to do 1 through 8.
That. He doesn't want to do that.
I don't want to do it.
Mate, okay.
Let's do.
He doesn't want to do it. Mate, okay.
It's not a time consuming thing. It's just like I just couldn't. You didn't have to drag that into it, mate. All I'm saying is that I don't fucking know where I'm placing these teams. It's like we win versus them tomorrow, we lose versus them yesterday. It's bullshit. I ain't ranking nobody. I abstain.
Oh well, Smash is enough. Smash is left.
It's you that left on my screen.
What? Now Unna's left too. Oh
you're the problem, you see.
It's all still here for me.
All right,
we
have to say,
just do overall winner and then like best of the rest then.
Okay.
As in best non-Korean.
Yeah. I'm going to say first place Falcons, second place Crazy Raccoons, third place VP.
Yeah!
I
love
have
that.
faith in Smash.
Thank you so much.
I am the insane China glazer, so I'll go first place Crazy Raccoon, second place Falcons, third place once again.
Okay.
It's my
I think
turn.
that's actually impossible with the shape of the bracket.
Nothing's
It's double
impossible,
limbo,
mate.
so there's like a...
Oh no, but yeah. No, you're right.
So they'll be able to filter. They'll have to one of the teams will have to
Yeah.
fight their way through a bit longer than the others.
Yeah,
but,
no, just because it's a tournament in China it doesn't mean that it isn't double elim, you know.
Your turn, Smash.
First, Crazy Raccoon. And second, once again.
Ooh.
And third, VP.
Oh, my.
Falcons. He
That
thinks Falcons are getting
Falcons
blown out. No, I can
Falcons
see the
get
case
blown
for it
out.
though. I think Falcons does feel like weaker for sure.
They have to lose one time. They have to
But
get
the
in suffering.
thing is, I'm just not believing that team is not going to clutch up come like the actual important shit. You know,
yeah,
they're just going to pull their finger out and be like, you know what? Let's not roll out on Harmon Ball here.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there's got to be another hero.
Last time when last year at the World Cup, they're shit. Falcon
Crazy Raccoon was
shit.
better in bands, but that was just first time. You know.
Yeah,
Now it's
so-
different meta and much more practice with bands, like a whole stage of it. So I think a little
Yeah.
different.
But I heard
It's
like
they were,
Propo keeps saying, "Oh, once again, Monkey is so good." Keep talking
Yeah.
like that. So I thought if we have a lucky and we beat Falcon one time, maybe we have a chance.
yeah, I could
Yeah.
see the bracket clear. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Fuck, dude, that would be awesome.
if that upper bracket semi-final is Falcons versus once again, and then if Falcons lose that game, I think that whoever loses that game is going to be it's so scary to go through the lower bracket, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
all it takes is one bad game and it's over.
Yeah, it's gonna wipe the whole lower bracket though. Like
Yeah.
whichever team gets knocked down from that one is just gonna mop
Falcons
the
get
floor
knocked
with
to
it.
lower bracket immediately.
Oh,
Then
what? Won our game in the lower bracket. Here comes the run. Who have we got next? It's Falcons. Great. Cheers.
Fuck. Cheeky little CC in the Falcons angle for us.
You would play Crazy Raccoon followed by CC followed by Falcons.
It's just like, please fucking dominate us in the bracket.
Pray for us on top.
Huh?
Pray for us on top.
Okay, I'll pray.
I think, I'm going Crazy Raccoon first. Still Falcon second, and then once again third. I think that's what the same as answers, but yeah.
Not fun.
Not fun. Yeah, I think to be fair, I think you guys are right. If anyone does anything from the West, I think it's Virtus.Pro.
Yeah. No, SSG is really good. Quite good, dear. I'm so surprised.
Chris is shaking his head.
Especially Kelani. Felan, so good right now.
Yeah, Minjay's fucking insane up monkey.
Yeah.
he's Korean.
Yeah.
Ben
He's
and
Korean,
Hanbin.
does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's better than Hanbin, so they can beat.
He's like,
Felani carry.
he's like significantly better than Harmon at Winston for sure. I don't know about that proper stalker versus Lenny Seeker though. So keep it A.
Saving America. Please, Lenny. Seeker, saving America.
Come on, LeBron.
If there's two people who can save America, it's Sugar Free and a Canadian. All right. Should we hit a predictions locked in? Should we hit a client of the week then? So we've touched on some of it already. Obviously, I think Vision have come in hot. Maybe a couple of nominations. Not wanting their game streamed. Maybe even
that's
throwing.
bigger for me. I actually think that's worse
big.
than being late and losing your first map.
Yeah, because they also got 3-0'd in the series, right? If they lose 3-2 and they were late, it's worse because they've actually lost, but they kind of just got blown out of the water anyway. But there is a slight follow-up to this as well, because, you know, if there's something going on with Vision, there's one thing you can always set your watch to after something happens with Vision in one of these tournaments, and that is Skeng1's Twitter is going to fill up. Now, he actually deleted this tweet, but fortunately, someone was able to catch the receipts on this one before he could hide it. So this happened after they lost that map for being late. Here we go. So this is from Skeng1. Little picture, screenshot of his conversation with the admin. He says, we were given a 10-minute timer before our second match. One of our players arrived just 1 minute late, and we were handed a map loss because of it. That decision completely shifted our team to momentum and energy. From there, everything snowballed, and we've now been relegated. There was more, but it's only a screenshot. And then the conversation is from the admin saying, well, we understand the frustration. We have to follow the timer. It's been 10 minutes. Vision now has 1 map loss. Then Skeng1 replies, 1 minute later, he is here, can we play? But a few details here of, he says we're 1 minute late, but this isn't the your time is up message. The timer has expired, we're giving them the win. This feels like the tail end of a conversation where it is in terms of the context here. So I feel like we're maybe, honestly, possible we're lying a little bit about the minute. So Skeng1, then someone tweeted, saying, something along the lines of, I broke the rules and I got punished. Unbelievable. And then Skeng replied to that, also deleted, something along the lines of, paraphrasing here, but when did I complain about being punished for breaking the rules? I was like, you kind of tweeted.
The whole tweet.
Posting the chat log with the admins feels like you're trying to do something.
Yeah. At least trying to garner sympathy for... But it's really hard to give too much sympathy in this situation, I think, unfortunately.
Well, I also feel as well, I actually think, because if you look at some of this tweet as well, what he's really saying is, you know, as much as we lost that map and that changed the entire day, that our mentality broken, shattered. But really what he's saying here as well is just, well, we were a few minutes late, we lose 1 map against Quick Esports, a Face It Masters team, and our mental is now shattered and we can't win a single map for the rest of the day. Like, actually, if my manager went on Twitter after we had like a series of bad losses and was like, yeah, unfortunately our mentals just fucking broke, I'd be like, cheers, boss, thanks for that. Thanks for blaming it on our weak mentals.
Yeah.
Definitely up there. Maybe actually a bit of a nod actually towards as well the fact that Vision were even allowed, or any of the teams even had a say in whether they're going to do streams or not. That doesn't make any sense. So I hope they change that, because that's just nonsense. Although it does mean maybe, Chris, you have an angle. If you have another embarrassing loss on TU, you can always just ask.
Yeah, just turn the stream off.
Delete those VODs. Delete those VODs, can we? Delete all evidence.
Turn that off right now.
And then I guess the theme of this week's Client of the Week is deleted tweets, because there was another tweet about from our good friend Slay, who tweeted a while ago saying he ran into some issues, right, in terms of he wasn't getting paid by his organisation. But then he seemed to have he had a change of heart all of a sudden. There was a bit of a change of heart here where, again, the tweet's been deleted, so it's going to be a bit fuzzy, but I can read it to you. Then Slay tweets, I sincerely apologise to Dragons for my past words. The club has always been professional and supportive, and I regret misrepresenting them. They stood by me, and I was wrong to speak out. I take full responsibility and apologise to the club and its fans. He follows up with, Dragons is a top-tier club that helps players grow.
Does. I mean, look at the growth.
They don't pay them on time, but they help them grow.
Yeah.
Well, a bit of adversity will give you personal growth, Max. Think about it.
Do you have his original tweet or no?
Not to hand. I can probably... I don't remember it as well.
Oh, he deleted the original tweet for sure. I don't remember his original tweet word for word, but, you know, the gist of it was essentially that, like, Dragons are many months late on payment of my salary. I've contacted the Saudi E-League's admins and been completely ignored about this. They are just completely ignoring me. There's nothing more that I can do. Hey, can someone do something? And then he has to delete that and apologize in order to get paid now. Like, what a system, you know? What a system.
My favorite part too is like the Dragons team. They're like, how do we save our PR here? And they just don't understand that what this message that Slay's put out here is so bad for their reputation, because no one with an IQ above 17 looks at this and thinks, oh yeah, this was actually Slay's fault, or fair enough. Everyone can see immediately what's actually happening here. And somehow this apology, you take full responsibility, just makes it look even fucking worse. Like, I'd be less likely to want to join this great club that grows players after the second tweet, even more than the first tweet where he's like, yeah, we don't get fucking paid.
Yeah, I think none of this is on Slay. Slay has obviously been told something along the lines of, delete the tweet, put out an apology, and we'll pay you the money we owe you. And if I'm Slay, I'm just whatever, right? Sure. Like, I have to send a tweet. Everyone's going to know it's bullshit, but I get the money I'm owed. I kind of just want the money for the work I've done. Think more than fair enough. And it's so blatant. I mean, there's no surprise they've deleted it now, because clearly maybe Dragons have they've at least had the awareness to realize their mistake. But this has done nothing but just backfire and just look like all they've done is put Slay into a room, gagged him, gun to his head, and said, type the fucking tweet, will you? Type the apology.
But, you know, that's how it goes, you know?
Yeah.
You get paid.
Hope he got paid, though. Hope he still get paid.
Yeah, we should check in on that, you know, see if he got money. I feel like he probably hasn't gotten the money yet, because I reckon as soon as you
promised the money, that's like
as soon as you get the money, you just delete the tweets and just tell the story again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so that's strong contenders this week. Strong contenders. Who are we going for? Dragon Esports, Vision Esports, Skeng One individually.
No, I'm Dragon Esports pilled, I think. I think they are.
Are they both Saudi organizations? Are Dragons and Vision both Saudi?
They are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Dragons. I'm gonna give it to Dragons.
Because I feel like not having the lack of awareness to think this will solve the problem is unreasonable. I just can't perceive how they saw this and were like, yeah, this is going to solve our PR problems. Everyone's going to want to play for our org after this. It won't backfire at all. On top of the fact that they also just didn't play their players for ages, you know, so I guess who would have thought it? Esports organizations, poorly managed, mismanagement.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But if you join in the Saudi org, you're never getting paid on time. That's just like it's a rule of thumb.
Part of the course.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait a while.
Maybe send a few tweets, delete a few tweets.
Yeah.
Whatever the combination is, that seems to unlock the pay. I feel like as well, everyone deleting tweets. I feel like we're gonna have to start being more like on the ball with this stuff here, because people are trying to cover their tracks now.
Yeah, no, just start screenshotting them. You say something fucking funny, just put it in the production channel.
Yeah, good shout.
We're gonna have to keep receipts for all of these things now.
Shit's probably in our group chat, mate. Like it's probably in our group chat somewhere, to be honest.
We'll go back into the archives for it.
All
right then. Nice, short, little sweet one. Hangzhou Major. Obviously, best of luck, Smash and Max and the teams. Got to represent the West. Want to give a special thank you as well to Red Eyes, our biggest supporter right now on Patreon.
Thank you, Red Eyes.
Thank you very much, Red Eyes. One of the good ones for sure.
FLX.
Thank you.
Thanks, Red Eyes.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you all. We'll do another episode, of course, probably sometime after the Hangzhou Major, when we can figure out how on earth SSG and Virtus.Pro finished top 2. Thank you, everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool.